It really truly was a toss-up what I wanted to talk about today, okay? I was going to wade into more of the Kanye West stuff because even since Friday when we last talked about that, oh boy, there's been quite a few developments. But there's also something else that's developing on that. For the first time in a long time, might have to check out Timcast IRL, like, ugh, God, whatever, but you're going to have, apparently, you're going to have Milo, Kanye West, and Nick fucking Fuentes all on the panel. That is going to be a tremendous shit show, and the way that all of that stuff is kind of shaken out, best wait to reserve anything that's going on there, because oh my god, like, Milo's a very smart guy. Okay, I said my piece about Fuentes. And Kanye West, I think he's just along for the ride at this point. But more on that tomorrow, because we got to talk about groomers, okay? We can shelve all of that insane shit off to the side for a second. We can talk about some universally appalling stuff, I think. And it's funny. It's funny. Elon Musk, I got his tweet pulled up here, okay, because he's been going on a screed on this one here today. Apple has mostly stopped advertising on Twitter. Do they hate free speech in America? What's going on here, Tim Cook? Yeah, he's, waging a one-man war against Apple right now. And it looks like they're just slowly trying to back away. Meanwhile, Androids over there across the street just not giving a literal shit about this. They're just like, oh, cool, we got an app that's universally successful. Based. Let's continue to promote it. Party time. You should join the Android master race anyways, but I thought I said I'd talk about all that Fuentes, Milo, and Kanye stuff tomorrow. Anyways, nice handoff there, because we got Kim Kardashian. Sure, she is one of the faces of Balenciaga, one of her many faces, and one of Balenciaga's many faces. They have a whole host of a different high-profile models that are out there that have yet to really speculate or say anything about what they are doing in regards to the whole Balenciaga thing. Okay, if you've forgotten the last time we talked about this, and again, this is another popular topic and one that is just kind of appalling, and especially with the new developments, super fucking appalling. I could even throw in, it's like, it's treading into the evil based on what we're seeing here with the other people that are associated to this stuff. But Kim Kardashian, okay, she goes hand in hand with Balenciaga, arguably, regrettably, one of the most famous individuals on earth. And normally, if this was to happen on the other side of the fence, I find this incredibly funny right now, okay? Because this all just centers around sexualizing children, pedophilia, whatever the hell you want to call it, okay? If the right were to do something like this, even approaching anything like this, oh my gosh, they would be canceled off of the face of the fucking earth. Maybe not on Twitter. Twitter's a wild place right now, and I'm totally down for it, and I incredibly appreciate it. But when the left does it, okay, oh no, it's fine when we do it, but when a right-winger does it, oh, you support pedophilia. It's like, bro, you're the one saying that it's not a choice at all. You love who you love, and you can't choose who you love. It's like, make that one make sense. But we have some insights from the bright, wonderful, effusive Kim Kardashian. Okay, I have been quiet for the past few days. Everybody has noticed because you're, to pull out a leftist axiom, your silence has been deafening. Not because I haven't been disgusted and outraged by Eason Balenciaga campaigns. I was trying to run the math and make sure that the numbers work. Can I dump them? No. Okay, fine. I'll just be outraged on social media by the recent Balenciaga campaigns, but because I wanted an opportunity to speak to their team and understand myself how this could have happened as a mother of four from how many different anyways, I have been shaken by the disturbing images. Normally this would preclude I'm going to be walking away from Balenciaga, but stay tuned, everyone. The safety of the children must be held with the highest regard, and any attempts to normalize child abuse of any kind should have no place in our society, period. Normally, if you think that is a stance you should be taking, you should probably back that up with actions. But again, all of these people, they're superficial idiots. Kim Kardashian, case in point, she is probably the poster child of that. So that's why she continues with a couple more statements. I appreciate Balenciaga's removal of the campaigns and apology and speaking with them. I believe they understand the seriousness of the issue, and I will take necessary measures for this to never happen again. Interesting, because that's more than what Balenciaga is doing. They've sued somebody, but I don't know if that covers all of the scandals in totality, but somebody's getting sued for $25 million. I think it was the one who had the gimp suits on the teddy bears. I think so. Anyways, and then the final tweet in this thread. As for my future with Balenciaga, severing all relationships? No, silly, don't be stupid. I am currently reevaluating my relationship with the board. I find what they're doing morally reprehensible as the mother of four, but I'd like to continue to get paychecks, so we won't be too terribly harsh on this type of stuff. This is the idol to so many young women that are out there. Somebody who, I stand for something. It's like, okay, cool, do something to back up your words. Okay, take some action on this. No, I don't want to. Oh, okay, cool. We see what you're all about. But to just round this off, I don't want to take her out of context or put words in her mouth, because a lot of people like to put different things in her mouth, let alone words. I'm currently reevaluating my relationship with the brand, basing it off their willingness to accept accountability for something that should have never happened to begin with, and the actions I'm expecting to see them take to protect children. Okay, cool. That would be a nice, fine statement. And again, you said that it's disgusting. You're shaken to your core. Sure thing, pal. Wouldn't you take the actions to take a step back for the time being until a time in which can be proved that they are fulfilling their obligation to not sexualize children? No, man, I don't want to put anything on pause right now, because I'd like to get to the end of this contract so I can renegotiate another big contract. Fucking people suck. And like CJ Pearson, I don't know who... Oh, he works for PragerU. Okay, so as he points out right here, Balenciaga severed ties with Kanye West, her former ex-husband, right? Due to a tweet. They expect us to just accept their apology after they get caught up sexualizing children. They're not apologizing because they're sorry. They're apologizing because they got caught. Couldn't agree anymore. Is the same Balenciaga as well, that deleted their Twitter account in protest of Elon Musk. The self-righteousness of these people is disgusting. Well put, my guy. But again, if this was just one, campaign that ended up going sideways, it's like, okay, cool. They apologize for that. They get rid of it. Okay, made it past a couple of censors. That's fine. But when the centerpiece are, sexualized teddy bears, and there's a whole bunch of little, I can't think of a better term right now, but little dog whistles in the background, you got a lot more explaining to do on that one, especially when you know exactly what the hell is going on with some of your designers that are out there, like Jake Shields, okay, the MMA fighter, the UFC contender, headliner of UFC's first stadium show against GSP at the Sky Dome way back in the cut at this point. I think, what was that, UFC 120 Flurf? What else was on that card? Regardless, I'm getting sidetracked on this one, but here's Lada Volkova. That's, I guess, her name. Top designer for Balenciaga and Adidas. They're inexorably linked, those two companies right there. That is her, I guess. Why do you have two baby dolls, and why are your hands covered in, I would assume red paint, okay? I can at least assume this is all supposed to be the same motif. I wouldn't think that you're going to go the extra mile and have actual blood, but based on some of the other pictures that we're seeing here, could be proved wrong on this one. Because here's what else she had on her private Instagram. I don't know why you would do this, or that, or teddy bears in bondage. It's like, okay, and then other things as well. Like this picture, obviously a satanic ritual of some sorts, or maybe a sweet album cover, or an album cover of a band that never quite made it in the 1980s, and a kid holding up a skull with a whole bunch of, I think those are zodiac signs. I'm not entirely sure what that's all about. And then a kid that taped to a stool being forcibly made to watch and listen to. Actually, I have no idea what's on the laptop back there. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but those are the people that are in charge of the marketing and designing the goods for Balenciaga. You think this was an accident, this campaign, okay? No, because we got another picture of another campaign that's out there. I don't know what the white rabbit, but there you can see. You can clearly see that's the teddy bear from the previous campaign. And then they have some security tape. Okay, they got, this is obviously another Balenciaga ad, a kid involved. Okay, you guys have kids' clothes. I understand. You need to have something there. But you have a bunch of, weird scribbles all over the walls, which is, again, setting a terrible precedent. That shit is totally haram. But, we got so much more to go on this one. And then you got some, caution tape. That's Baallen. It's supposed to be Balenciaga, but with a double A. I was thinking nothing of it, but some other people that are out there, based on some of the other predilections of some of the other designers that are out there, yeah, it's got some satanic connotations, which of course it does. This conclusively proves. This is by Vade. It goes by Popehead. It's got a Substack, so I guess that means something. This conclusively proves that this all goes higher than the photographer. If the photographer slipped a CP court document, that's what we talked about last time. If you want more on that stuff, you can go back to that video that happened last week, and I'll probably see if I remember to put it in one of those iCards if you're watching on YouTube. Otherwise, it's just a couple of scrolls down on Rumble. Okay, got it? But Balenciaga had a factory. To print the tape. What the fuck? Just noticed a lot more stuff. Going to spend a couple hours going deep into the picture. In case any of you think this is edited, you can still find the original Google image on the first page right now, and there he has proof on that one. So yes, pointing out the seeming spelling error of Balenciaga. It's apparently, at least according to this dude, like, he could be totally off the deep end, but I don't really think so. Baal. So Baal is a Canaanite deity who kids were ritualistically sacrificed to. Oh boy, here we go. Before I get into the observations, let's discuss the links between high fashion and fascism and Satanism. I'm down for it, and are you? And if not, you've already clicked off the video, so whatever. Have you heard about the brand Fendi? Let's get weird. All right, then. Let's totally get weird. Brother lives in Rome. As any Romans know, one of the most iconic fascist buildings in the Coliseo Quadrado in European EUR. Okay, EUR was Mussolini's pet project. Oh boy, we all know about him. He made the trains run on time. His fascist district he created in South Rome. Never been there. I hear it's nice. The only place in Rome with purely fascist architecture. It's probably very efficient. Not exactly something to look at, but it probably works very well. When the Nazis lost, alright, Germany had a period of denazification, and every public swastika was destroyed. Italy never had such a program. And in the middle of the EUR, there is still an obelisk dedicated to Mussolini and his project. What the fuck? Now we're getting... Yeah, he was right when he said we're getting fucking weird. Most iconic fascist monument in this area is the Coliseo Quadrado. It was Mussolini's take on the Colosseum. I could see the similarities. His fascist Colosseum was a square with the... and avant-garde. 6x9, nice, was the dimensions of its opening. 6 for the letters in Benito, and 9 for Mussolini. A touch narcissistic, but you understand. He was a dictator, after all. Guess who bought the building and made it its headquarters in Rome? You cannot... What? That... All right, then. Now, this is controversial, even at the time, but the one building could not be a coincidence. But no, Fendi has consistently bought up multiple old fascist buildings in their stores in Italy over the last 30 years or so. This symbolism is undeniable. All right. Now, everyone knows the obvious link between the Nazis and Hugo Boss and Dior. I didn't know about Dior, but obviously Hugo Boss designed all of the... Is it weird to say iconic Nazi imagery when it comes to fashion? But that's what it is. Like, the trench coats that everybody knows and the fucking hats with the skulls on them, that's Hugo Boss. I didn't know much about Dior, but all right. And also Alyssa Milano's favorite car manufacturer, Volkswagen, founded by the Nazis. So I don't even bother to discuss them. Instead, let's talk about some lesser-known connections. All right, I'm guessing you've heard of Diana Vreeland. Nope. Some famous socialite and editor at the chief of Vogue and a close friend of Jackie Kennedy. Oh, that embarrassed former whore. Oh, you love to see it. Did you know her son, Frederick Vreeland, was a CIA officer during the Cold War? Nani? How... Oh, and don't get me started on his Knights of Malta links. Holy fuck. Like, this guy, man. He's actually doing some investigative journalism here. I appreciate this stuff. What the fuck? For the last year, I've been working on a research project exposing something Fred Vreeland is connected with and was hopeful to have done in 2 months. Also, not to jump around too much, getting a lot of attention. Might as well... Oh, black pills. Okay, cool. He's got a whole bunch of other stuff as well. That's all right. Yeah, so back to the Balenciaga stuff. Let's begin with an analysis of the photo. Look at the weird drawing next to the rabbit. All right. Literally shown a horned deity ball, the one that we talked about before there. Weird. And now let's analyze the rainbow imagery. Oh my god, is he about to just drop the rainbow right here? You're probably familiar with the Kubrick's last movie, Eyes Wide Shut. Know about it, don't know much about it though. An expose on elite Satanism, sexual abuse. All right, I'll take your word for it. Rainbows are prominent in the movie. Two women try to lead Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, I do believe, character away in the beginning, and he asks where they are. They say where the rainbow ends, and there's an allusion to elite pedophilia, along with a rabbit symbol. Oh, white rabbit. That's why he had the rabbit all in a box. Okay, that makes sense. Notice a rainbow slinky next to the rabbit. Holy fuck, this dude was going in. The weird elite pedophilic obsession with the rainbow and rabbits does go back to Lewis Carroll, author of Alice in Wonderland. Okay, did you know he was a pedo? I didn't. Thanks for clarifying. Look it up. Look, I'm not going to speed food you the obvious shit, so just do the research. Fucking educate yourselves, you goddamn bigots. But which side of the fence are we on this? Anyways, yeah, we could see in the original picture a lot of rainbows, lots of color, lots of scatterbrained images. Obviously. Again, I'm not going to spoon feed you Nixium, Hollywood sex cult. That's another story. But okay, great point made here. He is literally wearing ruby slippers. Follow the yellow brick road. And of course, you could always just kind of play all of this stuff off. It's like, oh, that's a children's story. Don't worry about all that stuff. And rabbits, Alice in Wonderland, rainbows are nice and happy and fine. But when you tie all of this stuff together, and yeah, that's another picture that's out there, and somebody autistically analyzed that, and I'm very happy for that. It's just, how do you explain another scandal on the same level of the one that you had previously? Now, we talked about a Supreme Court decision being just, was somewhere on a desk as a prop, and then you take a look at that decision, and it has pedophilic overtones, all the tones. Let's talk about another child's book that was featured as a little Easter egg, I guess. Like, oh my lord. Okay, more photographs from an axed Balenciaga campaign are being questioned today over the prominence of a book which celebrates a Belgian artist whose work includes depictions of castrated toddlers. Oh, I didn't want to read that. Wow. Two of the brands now canceled Spring 23 ad campaigns feature French actress Isabelle Huppert posing in a Manhattan office with a stack of books behind her. Okay, among the books is the one that celebrates the Belgian painter Michael's Borremans. Belgian accents escape me. I can at least do French. I am Canadian after all. They're a small fraction of this decrepit country that still speaks that loser's tongue. Borremans' work is varied, but frequently features children. Yeah, sure. His 2017-18 series, Fire from the Sun, shows a group of toddlers, some of them with blood staining their skin. Great, in similar sinister compositions. Sinister to some of the other pictures we were seeing as well. Balenciaga has not commented on Borremans' book or how it makes it into the Spring 23 campaign. There's also other distinct similarities between Borremans' work and some of Balenciaga's past designs, namely Kim Kardashian's look. Ah, see? It all comes full circle on this one. Oh, look at the 2021 Met Gala where she appeared with a black fabric covering her face. Now, because I'm walking on a razor's edge legitimately right now, I'm just about out of YouTube jail, don't want to jinx anything, okay, and I also don't want to press it, because they said that, yeah, there's pictures and depictions of children covered in blood, and they've got the pictures here, so I'm gonna go past that. If you, for just for I guess completion's sake, want to take a look at the pictures, they'll be in the link in the description. You can search to your heart's content just to see how depraved Balenciaga is, or you can take my word for it. So let's continue. So there's the picture in question right there. Michael Borremans' book right there at the top. Taking a look at some of his past work makes somewhat sense given the microscope that this entire campaign, where if nobody sounded an alarm, which I kind of wish in the back of my mind, that nobody sounded an alarm on this, it just merely kept all of the information until Balenciaga started to roll it out, and it's like, cool, they are child predators, here's all the evidence. That would have been fun to see them. Oh no, it was just clearly a mistake. It hadn't gone to press yet. We're just really sad about all that stuff. It's like, okay, cool, you already rolled it out. I wish they would have waited, but oh well. Here's our creep, because they always kind of look like knockoff Liam Neeson villains from one of the later stage Taken films. Taken 8. I don't know if I can know. Michael Borremans, Magnetics, great. Can't go any further than that. The images, which feature a book and his works, were swiftly pulled from the fashion brand's website this week after the BDSM teddy bears controversy. Those images showed young child models holding bears, in fact, fluffy handbags, posing around glassware. Yeah, that's all. No. They're just simply fluffy teddy bears that kids were holding. What else were in those pictures as well? Funny you should ask. In a statement on Monday, the brand apologized for the Bears campaign again and took full responsibility for it. Oh, okay, cool. So now you're avowed child predators. Great. Glad we're clear on that. We would like to address the controversy surrounding our recent ad campaigns. We strongly condemn child abuse, but would have been more than happy to run with it because you commissioned it and you were ready to go until some eagle-eyed person in Balenciaga's offices were like, this is fucked up. And it's like, didn't you know? Everybody here is fucked up. Oh shit. We strongly condemn child abuse. It was never our intent to include it in our narrative. Okay, cool. Now just take a look at some of your other designers that are out there and try to make that make sense. First campaign, the gift collection campaign. You're still trying to promote it. Game recognizes game. I respect the hustle. Featured children with plush bear bags dressed in what some have labeled BDSM inspired outfits. Bruh, we'll have photographic evidence at the later half, or just about at the end of this video as well. It's at the later half of this article, okay, for clarification's sake. You can see if some would label that BDSM inspired outfits. A 5-point leather and chains harness. That is kink wear if I've ever seen it before. Our plush bear bags and the gift collection should not have been featured with children, but you still went forward with it. You were ready to put it out there, okay? Because if you just hired somebody, if you just sent out a contract, okay, submit all of your submissions, okay, here's the different props that you can use, the best campaign wins, and this one came across and somebody wanted to play out the predator, we would understand. Balenciaga wouldn't be under any sort of scrutiny for that one because you're just asking people for their designs that are out there. It would be simply that motherfucker that's out there. But you guys commissioned this stuff based on some of his older works, and he was trying to either slip in some references under the radar, which are disgusting to say the least. Now you want to walk all this stuff back? Like I said in the previous video, they're just trying to see how far they can push this type of stuff because pedophilia has been the left and mass media's project for just about a decade at this point. We got the receipts on that one. Take a look at some old Slate and Salon articles back in the early 2010s. It's like, why are you doing this? Because now we've arrived at 2022. Joe Biden loves sniffing young kids and he wants to have that great gift opened up for the rest of the world to experience. Yuck. I had to skip over the whole, kids covered in blood section to get to this one. You might remember this stuff. Like, I don't follow this goofy broad or anything like that, but I still seen that picture out there. It was like, what are we doing right here? But I hadn't seen the one on the left before, okay? There's some lady in blackface or really enjoyed her jello pudding. Maybe Bill did hand it over to her because she's standing awfully still. I know it's a picture, but, But the big significance of that design right there, well, obviously the similarity, some of Borremans' works beforehand, she was modeling for Balenciaga at that event. Coincidence? No, of course. I'm sure Kim is also having somebody on her team go through and reevaluate her decision to work with the company, and it's like nothing's ever going to come out of that. That's the last thing she's going to say about this stuff, regardless of how hot this campaign gets. But yeah, there's your some people would call that BDSM gear. Bruh, I'm a big Judas Priest fan, okay? Everybody knows what time it is when Hellbent for Leather or Breaking the Law comes on, okay? Rob Halford comes back out with a Village People biker cap, okay, with leather and whips. Everybody knows. Everybody fucking knows. The whole leather and chains and stuff isn't really my thing, but I recognize that. And then I also see the kid looking horrified, which is kind of a trademark of this Borremans fellow. Just their models looking completely and totally disgusted with the situation. And then also, just strangely enough, other plushes in the background. At least the white rabbit was in the other corner in the other picture as well. I'd imagine this probably will not be the last time we talk about Balenciaga. I would love to, okay? I would love to hear that place rolls up shop tomorrow and I could do a recap on their demise. But something tells me that there's something even darker, even more well hidden that some autist on the internet's going to find. And hey, man, they're doing the Lord's work when it comes to this stuff, because there's really no defense for this. Like, whenever you're dealing with kids and trying to make them, you're trying to project your own fantasies onto them, there's no building tall enough and no landing spot hard enough for the people who do this stuff to go free jumping off of. But we'll just have to wait for other prominent Balenciaga figures to come out and strongly consider potentially maybe reevaluating their position. Fucking yuck. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Coswell. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.